In the quiet village of Ithekahuno, nestled near the edge of the Aberdare forest, there lived a skilled weaver named Wanjira. She was famous for her intricate kikoi and kiondo designs, which she wove using threads dyed with natural pigments from bark, leaves, and flowers. Her creations were so beautiful that traders from as far as Nairobi would travel to buy them. One market day, Wanjira displayed her newest kiondo woven in vibrant greens and oranges, symbolizing life and prosperity. It was a masterpiece. However, as the day wore on, she noticed a peculiar man who seemed overly interested in her work. He was not from Ithekahuno. His accent betrayed his roots from the distant plains of Turkana. "Your kiondo is like no other I've seen," he said, flashing a toothy grin. "What's your secret?" Wanjira, ever cautious, laughed softly and replied, "The forest spirits guide my hands, and the colors come from their whispers." The man, whose name was Lokor, nodded but did not buy anything. That evening, after the market closed, Wanjira packed her unsold goods and began her walk home. The path twisted through the dense forest, and the sounds of crickets and frogs filled the air. Unbeknownst to her, Lokor had followed her. He had overheard villagers speaking of Wanjira's secret dyeing process, which made her threads so vivid. He was determined to uncover her methods. When Wanjira reached her hut, she placed her kiondo by the door and went inside to rest. Lokor crept close and waited for the village to fall asleep. At the stroke of midnight, he slipped into her workshop. By the light of his dim lantern, he saw rows of neatly arranged threads and jars filled with strange powders and liquids. Lokor grabbed as much as he could carry, but as he turned to leave, he accidentally knocked over a jar of red dye. The liquid spread across the floor, its earthy scent rising in the room. Lokor panicked and ran, leaving a trail of red footprints in his wake. The next morning, Wanjira discovered the mess and her missing supplies. Furious but determined, she followed the trail of red footprints leading into the forest. She knew every twist and turn of the trails, and it wasn't long before she reached a small clearing where Lokor sat examining her stolen threads. "Lokor," she called out, startling him. "You've stolen not just my work, but the trust of this village." Lokor stammered, I only wanted to learn your ways. My people struggle to make colors as vibrant as yours." Wanjira saw the desperation in his eyes. She thought for a moment before speaking. "You should have asked. Greed will always betray you. I will teach you one secret, but on one condition: you must return what you've taken and promise to share this knowledge with your people, not hoard it for yourself." Lokor nodded eagerly, and Wanjira taught him how to use the roots of the magumo tree to create a deep, lasting green. True to his word, Lokor returned the stolen items and shared the knowledge with his community. Over time, the villages of Ithekahuno and Lokor's distant plains began to trade not just goods, but also stories and techniques, building a bond that lasted generations. To this day, elders in Ithekahuno tell the story of Wanjira and Lokor, teaching that collaboration and honesty are far more valuable than theft and cunning.